Ever notice how the nicest people you know are also the most walked on? They're always helping everyone else while their own life falls apart. Always saying yes while their dreams collect dust. Always putting others first while they come in dead last. So why does being nice seem to guarantee being used? I am about to tell you something that society has been hiding from you your entire life. Your niceness isn't a virtue, it is a disease. And it is slowly destroying everything you've ever wanted while convincing you that you are doing the right thing. You stay late to help your coworker finish their project while yours remains untouched. You lend money to a friend who has never paid you back because you don't want to seem greedy. You apologize when someone bumps into you. You swallow your opinions to keep the peace. You put everyone else's comfort above your own existence. You know what that actually is? It is not kindness. It is self-destruction dressed in a pretty bow. But here is what is going to change everything. 500 years ago, Machiavelli understood something about human nature that nice people still refuse to accept. He knew that the world doesn't reward goodness. It exploits it. And the people who thrive aren't the ones who are nicest. They're the ones who understand when niceness serves them and when it destroys them. What if I told you that every time you are nice when you don't want to be, you are committing an act of violence against yourself, that your chronic niceness has been training everyone around you to treat you like you don't matter, that the resentment building inside you isn't a character flaw but your soul screaming that something is deeply wrong? By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why nice people finish last and what to do about it. Why your kindness has been weaponized against you. And most importantly, how to stop being nice and start being respected. Are you ready to kill the disease that has been killing your life? Drop this affirmation in the comments: I reject toxic niceness. Number 1. The difference between nice and kind that changes everything. Here's the first truth that will set you free. Nice and kind are not the same thing. In fact, they're often opposites, and confusing them is destroying your life. Nice is performative. It is saying what people want to hear. It is avoiding conflict at all costs. It is prioritizing other people's comfort over your own truth. It is smiling when you are angry. It is agreeing when you disagree. It is saying yes when every cell in your body screams no. Nice is a mask you wear to be accepted. Kind is authentic. It is telling someone the truth they need to hear even when it is uncomfortable. It is setting boundaries because you respect yourself and them enough to be honest about your limits. It is saying no when no is the real answer. It is being willing to disappoint people in the moment to serve them in the long run. Kind is who you actually are when you stop performing. See the difference? Nice people tell you your bad idea is great because they don't want conflict. Kind people tell you the truth because they actually care about you. Nice people agree with everyone because they need approval. Kind people share their real perspective because authentic connection matters more than shallow harmony. Nice people let you fail quietly. Kind people risk the relationship to help you succeed. Think about it this way. If you had a tumor, would you want a nice doctor or a kind one? The nice doctor might soften the diagnosis so much you don't take it seriously. The kind doctor tells you exactly what you are facing because your life depends on hearing the truth. Nice is comfortable. Kind is useful. Nice protects feelings. Kind protects lives. Machiavelli wrote, "Men judge generally more by the eye than by the hand, for everyone can see and few can feel." Nice people worry about how things look. Kind people care about how things actually are. Nice is surface. Kind is substance. And you've been sacrificing substance for surface your entire life. Here's a question that will haunt you. How many people in your life are struggling right now because you were too nice to tell them what they needed to hear? How many bad decisions did you watch them make while smiling and saying go for it? How many opportunities did they miss because your fear of conflict outweighed your care for them? Your niceness hasn't been helping anyone. It has been a betrayal dressed as support. Here is the brutal truth. People don't actually want you to be nice. They say they do, but watch how they treat nice people. They take them for granted. They walk all over them. They lose respect for them. But kind people, people who tell the truth and hold boundaries and show up authentically, those people are valued. Those people are respected. Those people are the ones others actually want in their corner. The shift from nice to kind isn't about becoming mean. It is about becoming real. It is about caring more about actual outcomes than comfortable appearances. It is about being willing to endure short-term discomfort for long-term respect and connection. This is the first key to escaping the niceness trap. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose kind over nice. Number 2. How your niceness trained people to disrespect you. Here is something that is going to hurt to hear. Every person who treats you badly learned that behavior from you. You trained them through 1,000 small surrenders. You taught the world exactly how much disrespect you'll accept. Think about how this works. Someone crosses a small boundary. Maybe they show up late. Maybe they make a dismissive comment. Maybe they ask for something unreasonable. You say nothing because you are nice. You don't want to make a big deal out of it. You don't want to seem difficult, so you absorb it. You smile through it. You pretend it is fine. But here is what actually happened in their brain. They ran an experiment. They pushed a boundary and faced zero consequences. Their unconscious mind registered that boundary as not real, just a suggestion. Something they can violate whenever convenient, because you've proven you won't enforce it. So they push again. A little further this time. Still nothing from you. Still that nice smile. Still that easy forgiveness. Now they know they can push even further, and they do. And you absorb that too. And the cycle continues until you wake up one day wondering why everyone treats you like garbage while you've been nothing but wonderful to them. Machiavelli understood this perfectly, he wrote. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. He wasn't advocating cruelty. He was observing human nature. When people know there are no consequences for crossing you, they will cross you. When they know there are consequences, they won't. Your niceness removed all consequences, and now you are living with the results. Here is the pattern you need to break. Every time you let something slide to be nice, you are sending a message. The message is my comfort doesn't matter. My time doesn't matter. My feelings don't matter. Keep pushing every single time. And people receive that message clearly even if you never say it out loud. Breaking this pattern means accepting temporary discomfort. The first time you push back, people will be surprised. Some will be offended. Some will test you harder to see if you are serious. This is where most nice people fold. They feel the pushback and retreat to their comfortable doormat position. But if you hold firm, something shifts. People recalibrate. They realize this boundary is real, and they adjust their behavior accordingly. Here's the scientific truth behind this. Human beings are pattern recognition machines. We learn how to treat people through repeated interaction. Every response you give teaches others what to expect from you. When you consistently accept disrespect, you become categorized in their brain as someone safe to disrespect. When you consistently enforce boundaries, you become categorized as someone whose boundaries matter. The beautiful thing is that you can retrain people. It takes consistency and courage, but it works. The person who has been walking all over you can learn to respect you, but they won't learn through your hoping or wishing or silently resenting. They'll learn through your actions, through the consequences you enforce, through the boundaries that finally mean something. You cannot be nice and respected at the same time. You have to choose. And every time you choose nice, you are choosing to teach people that disrespecting you is free. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I stopped training people to disrespect me. Number 3. The resentment that is poisoning you from within. Let's talk about the hidden cost of niceness that nobody discusses. That simmering anger you feel but won't admit to. That quiet resentment toward people you've helped who never reciprocate. That bitterness that leaks out in passive-aggressive comments and silent treatments. Every time you say yes when you mean no, a tiny piece of rage gets stored in your body. Every time you swallow your truth to keep the peace, that truth doesn't disappear. It ferments. Every time you sacrifice your needs for someone who doesn't appreciate it, the resentment compounds. Nice people are the angriest people on the planet. They just hide it behind smiles. And this resentment doesn't stay contained. It leaks out in ways you don't even notice. The sarcastic comment you didn't mean to make, the sudden coldness towards someone who didn't do anything wrong today, but represents everyone who has taken advantage of you. The explosion over something minor that was really about years of accumulated neglect. Your niceness isn't actually nice. It is a pressure cooker waiting to blow. Machiavelli observed, "Men are so simple and so ready to obey present necessities that he who deceives will always find someone who will allow himself to be deceived." You've been deceiving yourself, telling yourself that swallowing your needs is noble, that suppressing your truth is mature, that accumulating resentment is just what good people do. But the deception is killing you. Here is the truth about resentment. It is not a flaw in your character. It is feedback from your soul. It is telling you that you've been betraying yourself, that the imbalance in your relationships has become toxic, that something fundamental needs to change. Your resentment isn't the problem. Your resentment is the symptom of the problem. And the problem is your addiction to being nice. The cure for resentment isn't trying harder to be okay with being walked on. It is stopping the behavior that creates the resentment in the first place. It is speaking your truth before it ferments into bitterness. It is saying no before saying yes breeds contempt. It is protecting your energy before depletion turns to rage. Here is what nice people don't realize about their resentment. Everyone can sense it. You think you are hiding it behind your smile, but it leaks. In your tone, in your timing, in the things you conveniently forget to do, in the passive comments that slip out. The people you resent can feel it even if they can't name it. So you are not actually being nice. You are being fake nice while radiating hostility. That is the worst of both worlds. Imagine a life where you don't carry resentment because you don't create it, where you say what you mean in real time so nothing accumulates, where your yes means yes because you've stopped lying with your words. This isn't about becoming selfish. It is about becoming clean, emotionally clean, free from the toxic waste that niceness generates. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I release my resentment through honesty. Number 4. Why people actually respect those who aren't nice. Here is a truth that nice people can't wrap their heads around. The people you admire most probably aren't the nicest people you know. Think about the leaders you respect, the friends whose opinion you value, the people who've actually helped you grow. Chances are they've told you hard truths. They've said no to you. They've disappointed you in the short term to serve you in the long term. Meanwhile, the nicest people in your life, the ones who always agree with you and never challenge you and tell you everything you do is great. How much do you actually respect their opinion? How much growth have they sparked in you? How much do you trust their yes when they've never shown you their no? This is the paradox that destroys nice people. They're being nice to earn respect, but niceness is exactly what prevents respect, because respect isn't given to those who agree with everything. It is given to those who have standards, who have opinions, who have the strength to be unpopular when truth requires it. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince never lacks legitimate reasons to break his promise." He was making a dark observation about power. But the principle applies to social dynamics too. People of value understand that sometimes keeping the peace means breaking your integrity, and they choose integrity every time. Not because they enjoy conflict, but because they refuse to sacrifice who they are for temporary comfort. Watch how groups respond to people who aren't nice. Initially, there might be friction, but over time, something interesting happens. People start seeking out the not nice person's opinion specifically because they know it will be real. They start trusting the not nice person more because their approval actually means something. The not nice person becomes the one others want to impress. Here is what happens when you stop being nice. Some people will leave your life. Good. They were only there for what you provided, not who you are. The people who stay will respect you more. The relationships that survive will be based on authenticity rather than performance. Your opinions will carry more weight because people know they're real. There is another layer to this that nice people miss completely. When you always say yes, your yes means nothing. Think about it. If a friend who agrees to everything praises your work, how much does that mean? You know they'd say it regardless of quality. But if someone known for honest opinions praises your work, it lands differently. Their selectivity makes their approval valuable. The same applies to your relationships. When you start being selective with your time and energy, your presence becomes more valuable. When you are not available to everyone for everything, people appreciate when you do show up. When your yes is rare, it becomes precious. Nice people devalue themselves through constant availability. Not nice people appreciate and value through strategic selectivity. You've been trading respect for approval your whole life, and the exchange rate is terrible. Approval from people who don't respect you is worthless, but respect from people who know the real you is priceless. Stop making the wrong trade. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose respect over approval. Number 5. How to kill your niceness without becoming cruel. Now let's get practical. Because I am not telling you to become a monster. I am telling you to become honest. There is a massive difference. Here is the framework for escaping niceness without losing your humanity. First, create space between request and response. Nice people say yes immediately. They don't even give themselves time to check in with their actual feelings. Starting today, when anyone asks you for anything, pause, even if it is just 5 seconds. Ask yourself, do I actually want to do this? What will saying yes cost me? Am I saying yes because I want to or because I am afraid to say no? That pause is where your freedom lives. Second, practice small no's before you need big ones. You don't start weightlifting with the heaviest weight. You don't start boundary setting with your biggest relationship. Start small. Say no to the stranger asking for your time. Say no to the small request that doesn't serve you. Build the muscle of refusal so it is strong when you really need it. Third, use the truth sandwich. When you need to say something that feels not nice, sandwich it with genuine care. Here is how it works. Start with your genuine positive intention. Then deliver the hard truth clearly. Then end with your continued goodwill. Something like, I care about you and want the best for you. I need to tell you that this behavior isn't working for me. I am sharing this because I value our relationship. But it is delivered with care, not cruelty. Fourth, replace sorry with thank you. Nice people apologize constantly, even when they've done nothing wrong. This communicates weakness and invites disrespect. Instead of sorry for being late, say thank you for waiting. Instead of sorry for asking, say thank you for your help. Instead of sorry for taking up your time, say thank you for listening. Same situation, completely different energy. Fifth, accept that some people will prefer the old you. When you stop being nice, the people who benefited from your niceness will push back. They'll call you changed. They'll say you are not as sweet as you used to be. They'll try to guilt you back into your doormat position. This is not evidence you are doing something wrong. It is evidence you are doing something right. The people who loved your niceness loved what they could extract from you. Their opinion of your changes is not your concern. Machiavelli wrote, "Every one sees what you appear to be. Few experience what you really are." It is time to stop appearing nice and start being real. The ones who experience the real you and stay are your people. The ones who leave when you stop performing were never yours to begin with. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I kill niceness with honesty. Number 6. The transformation waiting on the other side. Let me show you what your life looks like when you finally kill your niceness. Because this isn't about subtraction. It is about replacing something toxic with something powerful. First, you'll have energy you forgot existed. Nice people are exhausted because performance is exhausting. When you stop managing everyone else's emotions and start honoring your own, suddenly you have reserves you didn't know were there. The energy you were spending on maintaining the nice persona becomes available for actually living your life. Second, your relationships will transform. Some will end, and that is necessary. But the ones that survive will deepen dramatically, because now people are relating to you, not to your performance. They know what you actually think. They trust your yes because they've seen your no. The connection becomes real in ways it never could before. Third, opportunities will find you. This sounds counterintuitive, but people give opportunities to those they respect, not those who are merely pleasant. When you develop a reputation for having standards and opinions and the backbone to express them, you become someone people want on their team. The promotions, partnerships, and possibilities flow towards strength, not niceness. Fourth, you'll finally respect yourself. This might be the most important change. When you stop abandoning yourself to please others, you start building a relationship with yourself based on trust. You keep your promises to yourself. You protect yourself. You advocate for yourself. And from that self-respect, everything else grows. Fifth, your resentment will dissolve because you'll stop creating it. When you speak your truth in real time, nothing accumulates. When you say no when you mean no, no bitterness forms. When you stop the behaviors that generate resentment, the resentment has nothing to feed on. You become emotionally clean. Sixth, your identity will solidify. Right now, you might feel like a different person in every room you enter, adjusting, adapting, morphing to meet expectations. When you stop being nice, you stop fragmenting. You become one person everywhere. This integration is deeply healing. Instead of managing multiple personas, you just become yourself. Seventh, your decision-making will become effortless. Nice people are paralyzed by decisions because they're trying to figure out what everyone else wants. When you stop prioritizing external approval, suddenly you can hear your own preferences clearly. Do I want this job? Do I want to attend this event? Do I want this relationship? The answers become obvious when you stop drowning them in other people's expectations. This is what is waiting for you on the other side of niceness. Not cruelty, not loneliness, not being disliked, but authenticity, energy, respect, and peace. Everything your niceness promised but never delivered. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I embrace my transformation. If you've made it this far, you already know in your gut that something has to change. The niceness you've been clinging to isn't serving you. It never was. It has been serving everyone except you while slowly draining your life force. Machiavelli wrote, "The wise man does at once what the fool does finally." You've seen the truth now. The only question is how long you'll wait before you act on it. Every day you continue performing niceness is another day of self-betrayal, another day of training people to disrespect you, another day of accumulating resentment, another day of choosing approval over respect. The cure for niceness isn't cruelty. It is honesty. It is boundaries. It is speaking your truth even when your voice shakes. It is being willing to be disliked for who you really are rather than liked for who you are pretending to be. It is choosing yourself, not instead of others, but before you've depleted yourself for others. Your niceness was a survival strategy from a time when you didn't have better options. It kept you safe in environments where authenticity was punished. It helped you navigate systems that rewarded compliance. Thank it for getting you this far, and then let it go, because you are not in those environments anymore. And the survival strategy has become a prison. If this video showed you the disease that has been destroying your life, smash that like button. If you know someone drowning in niceness who needs this message, share it with them. And if you want more content that cuts through comfortable lies and gives you real tools for transformation, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Today is the day you stop being nice. Today is the day you start being real. Today is the day you choose respect over approval, honesty over harmony, authenticity over acceptance. Your future self, the one who is finally free from the exhausting performance of niceness, is waiting for you to make this decision. Now drop this final affirmation in the comments. I am done being nice, because in a world full of people performing pleasantness while dying inside, the person who dares to be honest holds all the power. Be that person, kill your niceness, and watch how everything in your life transforms when you finally stop betraying yourself to please everyone else.